In the first video in this series that's titled How I Wrote and Published My Cookbook, I showed you guys how I sent away for this kit from morriscookbook.com, how I signed up for my free type and save account to type up the recipes, how I logged into the account, how I customized the setting for the recipes and for the categories, and we were right at the point where I was going to type in the first recipe. Now let's begin. Welcome to the Bear Pantry Show. If you're looking for authentic Belizean recipes, then you're in the right place. My name is Barbara and this is Cooking Made Simple. After logging into my type and save account, I just click on this button that says add recipes, and then this page will come up. If you want to give someone credit for the recipe, this is where their name would go, the first name and the last name and any additional contributor. All I want to deal with today is the recipe though, so I already put the name in from the last video. We're going to do carrot cake. And if the recipe has a nickname or is known more commonly by another name, you put that here. So now I'm going to go pick the category. The category is cakes, of course. And this is why you want to pick your categories or chapters in advance. Remember, I showed you guys that in the last video. So now let's write in the ingredients. So we just click right here and we start typing 1C period for cup of all-purpose flour. And this is why you want to go ahead and check out the writing tips first to know what the abbreviations are. That's appropriate for Morris cookbooks, all right? So commit that to memory or put it on your desktop so you can remember what you're doing. Now let's get another ingredient in. And this is what? Sugar. And you just hit enter and the other line will open for you. And you just go ahead and type the stuff in. All the ingredients. And I usually list dry ingredients together, wet ingredients together, and of course you start, the first ingredient you start with is the first ingredient that you're going to be using in the recipe. So now this one, there's an empty line. I want to go ahead and delete that because there's no ingredient for that line. Don't worry, if you've forgotten an ingredient, you could go back and add it in again. And you can move these ingredients around after you've typed them in, okay? You just have to go on the outer edges of the line, right past the X on the right of your screen, and that's how you can move them around if you want to. So now I decided that I'm going to need this recipe to have two parts because this is a cake and I'm going to need the cream cheese frosting as the second part. So if you're doing the free stuff, your recipe can't have more than two parts, all right? So right here is part 2, which is the cream cheese frosting, and the top part was the cake. So now let me go ahead and type some of the method in here. And you're not going to go 1, do this, 2, do that, or A, do this, B, do that. It's one big paragraph. All right. Right here you get the graphic for the degree. Special characters are there. So 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And just type away and type it in the way you speak. All right. Don't try to use fancy cooking terminology if you don't know any. Type it the way you would tell a friend how to do the recipe. And pretty soon you're going to get the hang of what you're trying to say or what you're trying to write. So these are the ingredients for the cream cheese frosting. Delete that last one. Type out the method again as one big paragraph. And this is pretty much how you input your recipes. To do that, you always want to preview. It's not going to allow you to save without previewing. Hit preview. And if there's anything spelled wrong or whatever, it's going to show you here. Like I have too much space between the brackets for the 8 ounce. So I just, click yes, use the one they gave me. And this is what the first recipe looks like. So this is your first opportunity to proofread and then hit save again. Okay, so now that we have one recipe in, let's navigate the rest of the options that we have here. You can view the recipe. So let's click on this and see where it takes us. So right here are my chapters. And I have quick breads and biscuits. There's nothing in there. I've got yeasted breads. I've got a bunch of recipes in here already. And of course, we did one under cakes, which is the carrot cake. And you just click on it right here. And it opens up so you can view the recipe like this again. All right. So now let's go back to type and save recipes. And let's go back to edit the recipe. So let's say you messed up and you found a mistake. You go here and hit edit the recipe. And then you go find the one recipe that you need to edit. and it'll take you back to the editing page. All right, so it won't take you back to the view page. And if you didn't make any changes, you can just hit save and it'll save. But if you made any change, even if you changed a period or a comma, it'll say preview first. All right, so now let's go back to this page right here and hit delete arrange recipes. And this is where you can delete recipes. So let's go under cakes, and if you want to delete this recipe, you just click here in this box and hit delete. Now let's go to yeasted breads. Let's say, for instance, I wanted to rearrange these recipes. I don't want to delete any, but I want to move them around. So I want Belizean yeast cakes to be here. You can do that, right? But you notice it didn't move, even though I dragged it. That's because in the beginning, I set up my recipes that I wanted them to be alphabetically ordered. So if you want to be able to move recipes around, you're going to have to go back and reset it to where they're not alphabetically ordered, okay? So this is how you arrange or rearrange and delete recipes. Now let's go to this one, preview recipes. Display now. This will allow you to view formatted recipes. So this is the way they're going to look in the book. Click here. And these are the recipes I have so far. So just a few that I've put in this new book. And this is the cake one that we just put in. So every now and again you want to see them formatted because they kind of excite you so that you can keep going, because it gets tiresome putting in the recipes. It's boring and tiresome. But if you see what your book's looking like, then you're more motivated. So remember, from the last video, I showed you guys how to set up your recipe settings, your category settings. We decided not to use recipe symbols because it's going to cost 5 cents per book. I'm not going to use recipe fillers because it's going to cost 15 cents per book. So we're just dealing with these right here. See my mouse going around? So now all I have to do is go back and keep adding more recipes. So now tune in for the next video, guys, because in that video, I'm going to show you guys how to pick your book cover and the binding, and also how to pick your dividers. All right? Thanks for watching. See you guys next video. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching the Bear Pantry Show. Don't forget to follow the page and check out my book at my Facebook store or at bearpantryShow.com. Bye now.